A very good afternoon to one and all. It's absolute pleasure and privilege to welcome you all, the panelists and the audience, to this exciting session, taking innovations and technologies to the next level. So first of all, thank you organizers for giving me this opportunity to facilitate the session. I am Veda, I'm the professional identities. I'm a senior scientist, a nutritional biochemist by training, and now here as a facilitator. So as we develop a lot of tools that is required to move from invention to innovation ecosystem, and most of the time we scientists are at the juncture of that. But how to take it to the next level, that is the theme of this session. As a moderator today, I really think myself as a science matchmaker, because here we have farmers, scientists, technologists, and policymakers as panelists. So not only by sharing ideas, but quite literally, they are creating a happily ever after food systems on a lighter note. But for any good match, it takes effort, trust, and many more. We need a right ecosystem to make it work. And that's exactly today's session is about. How can we co-create solutions, scale them faster, and ensure innovation reach the grassroots level where they can make the biggest impact. So the DialogueNEXT today from morning itself is a testimony to the need of the hour problem that we need to link farmers to the other stakeholders, especially in this volatile era of climate change, soil health challenges, market flux, and not only the rising demand for nutritious and sustainable solutions for us, but the globe we are. So we are very much aware that innovation cannot no longer remain in these ivory towers or in boardrooms, and hence take it to the farmers. The practical, the scalable, and profitable solutions. So today you're going to hear a rapid keynote style talk on such success stories from the esteemed panelists. So these distinguished panelists are a full spectrum of innovation and invention ecosystem. Madam Panadevi ji, the farmer who bring real world insights. We have scientists who share data-driven solutions, and we have industry and digital platform partners who really scale and shape the agriculture policy. So really glad to welcome our distinguished panelists. Panadevi ji, farmer from Khari village in Rajasthan. Brent Johnson, President, Iowa Farm Bureau Federation. Bharat Char, Chief Science Officer, Mahiko. Joe Roberts, President, Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Nidhi Bhasin, CEO, Digital Green. Satyendra Mangrutia, Senior Scientist, ICAR, Indian Institute of Rice Research. And Jessica Highland, Executive Director, Iowa Biotechnology Association. So let's hear this powerful shot of Nutri-Shots of wisdom from them. And to set the tone of this particular session, I have 3 questions as pointers to our farmer representatives. We would really like to know the biggest barrier that you face while adopting new technology. जब भी आप एक नए तकनीक अपनाते हैं, पनादेवी जी, जो भी बाधाएं आपके रास्ते में आए हैं, आप प्लीज उसके बारे में हमें बताइएगा. And for the scientists and innovators, most of the time we are curious creatures, and our research agendas are based on curiosity rather than the real life needs and aspirations of farmers. So really want to know from the panelists, scientists, that how to tackle this problem. And to the third, our industry and digital leaders, we really want to know, when we scale the innovation, how can we retain the aspect of losing trust, transparency, and inclusivity? So with this note, let's start. Let's move to our first panelist, Panadevi ji.
Please welcome CEO of Digital Green, Nidhi Bhasin.
सभी को मेरा राम राम. मेरा नाम पाना देवी और मैं राजस्थान के बीकानेर ज़िले के लोंकस तहसील के गांव खारी से आई हूँ. और हमारा खेतीबाड़ी का ही काम है और पशुपालन और गृहस्थी का संभालना. और हमारे राजस्थान में जो मरुस्थलीय क्षेत्र है वहाँ पर हम किसानों के लिए खेती करना बहुत ही चुनौती है, क्योंकि हम वर्षा के आधारित खेती करते हैं। हमारे वर्षा के समय पर नहीं आती है, और आती है तो कोई उसका मात्रा नहीं है, कितनी आएगी कब आएगी। वो रेगिस्तान ज़्यादा है, हवाएं धूल ज़्यादा उड़ती हैं और बरसात बहुत कम होती है। हम लोग मोठ ग्वार की खेती करते हैं, और हम मोठ ग्वार की खेती करते हैं और खेती भी वर्षा पर आधारित ही करते हैं। वर्षा बहुत ही कम होती है। तो अब मैं जैसा भी मेरा जो अनुभव है खेती का वो मैं आपके सामने साझा करना चाहती हूँ कि 40-45 सालों से हम जो खेती कर रहे हैं, पहले हम जो लोग खेती कर रहे थे वो तो हम खेतों की सही समय से वो साफ़ सफाई नहीं करते थे, और निराई गुड़ाई वो साफ़ सफाई नहीं करते थे, गहरी जुताई नहीं करते थे, और बीज हमारा जो पुराना होता था 20-25 सालों से हमारे पूर्वजों का वही बीज हम बार बार बीजते रहते थे। तो उसका वो प्रति बीघा के हिसाब से हमारा 40-45 किलो ही उत्पादन होता था। अभी हम लोगों ने जगह जगह से नई नई जानकारी प्राप्त करी है, और हमारे ट्रैक्टर और ये मशीनरी नई मशीनरी आ गई है, उनसे हम खेती करते हैं। तो हम गहरी जुताई करते हैं और ज़मीन की साफ़ सफाई अच्छी तरह से करते हैं, और हमारा जो नया बीज है वो हमने अपनाया है, और जगह जगह से हम लोगों ने जानकारी ली है। वो हमारी टेक्नो सर्वे संस्था है, हमारे बीकानेर में कृषि विश्वविद्यालय है, और हमारे वो स्मार्टफोन है, इसके द्वारा हम नई नई जानकारियाँ लेते रहते हैं। हमने जो अभी नया बीज अपनाया है वो बीज HG 563 है, वो सूखे को सहन करने वाला बीज है। और पहले जो हमारे यहाँ थोड़ा उत्पादन 30 से 40 किलो उत्पादन होता था प्रति बीघे के, अभी वो हमका उत्पादन है वो 1 कुंटल से 1.5 कुंटल तक होने लग गया है। और हम अब खेती की नई नई तरीके अपनाते हैं, जैसे वो ज़्यादातर वो हमारी गहरी जुताई करना और अच्छा बीज ढूंढना और निराई गुड़ाई अच्छी सी करना, और सारी खेती की हम अच्छी तैयारी करते हैं। और भी हम साथ में पहले हमको बाज़ार भाव अच्छे नहीं मिलते थे, अब हमने और हमारे साधन भी नहीं थे बाज़ार ले जाने के लिए, तो अब हमने हमारी किसानों की एक बनाई है मरुद्रा कंपनी, वो इसमें हम बीज बेच देते हैं और वो हमारे घर से बीज लेते हैं। हमारी कुछ आमदनी बच जाती है। जो पहले हम बाज़ार ले जाते थे बीज, तो हमें बोली नहीं आती थी, तो 1-2 दिन वेट करना पड़ता था, हमारे तोलाई का खर्चा आता था, और भी हमारे आड़त का और का खर्चा था। अब हमारा वो खर्चा नहीं आता है, और हम लोगों की वो फसल का हम अच्छे तरह से किसान लोग मेहनत करते हैं। और हमारे सबसे ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम आंधी की होती है। जो हमारी ज़मीन है वो बहुत ही उड़ाऊ है, तो कई बार बरसात पहला हो जाती है तो हम वो खेती करते हैं तो हमारी ज़मीन खेत उड़ जाते हैं, और कई बार 15-20 दिन तक बरसात नहीं आती है तो हमारे खेत वो बीज अनाज होता है वो जल जाता है और हमारी खेती नष्ट हो जाती है। और कई बार बरसात आती नहीं है तो हमारे अकाल जैसी स्थिति हो जाती है। तो हम किसानों के लिए राजस्थान में खेती करना बहुत बड़ी चुनौती है, क्योंकि बहुत सारी हमारे सामने बाधाएं आती है। नया बीज आता है तो हम लोगों को ऐसे लगता है कि कैसा ये होगा, हमें उत्पादन कैसे देगा, और थोड़ा वो उत्पादन खेती करते हैं 1-2 साल थोड़ा उत्पादन अच्छा होता है। जैसे पहले 140 दिन में खेती तैयार होती थी और अब हमारी वो हमने नया बीज अपनाया है, वो हमारा 30 दिन में वो हमारी खेती तैयार हो जाती है और बढ़ोतरी भी अच्छी देती हैं। इससे हम लोगों किसानों को फ़ायदा मिला है। और हमारी टेक्नो सर्वे संस्था है और भी हमारे स्मार्टफोन है और हमारे जगह जगह से हम लोग जानकारी प्राप्त करते हैं और हमारी खेती में बढ़ावा देते हैं। और हम लोग वो पशुपालन भी करते हैं, दूध का उत्पादन करते हैं, गाय भैंस बकरी भेड़ वो रखते हैं। और मैं वो मारवाड़ी है मेरी भाषा, इसलिए मुझको हिंदी में बोलना कम आता है, आपको समझ में आ जाएगा। और मैं तो आप लोगों के बीच में आकर बहुत ही खुशी मिली है। और आप लोग हमें ऐसा कोई जानकारी दे कि हमारे मरुस्थलीय क्षेत्र में और हमारी भूमि उपजाऊ हो, हमें कोई बढ़िया बीज ज़्यादा उत्पादन देने वाला मिले, तो हम चाहते हैं कि हम और आगे बढ़ें और हमारी खेती में और उत्पादन अच्छा हो। और हम घरों में खेती और घरों में जो सब्जी बाड़ी के भी बीज लगाते हैं और घर में तरह तरह की सब्जी पैदा करते हैं और हमारे परिवार को शुद्ध सब्जी मिलती है। और जितना मैं बोल सकी इतना ही आता है मेरे को।
Please welcome CEO of Digital Green, Nini Bosson.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think Panna Devi talking actually brings a puts a good context for me to start about what I'm going to talk about. When we say take it to the farmer, the theme of DialogueNEXT, what does it actually mean in practice? Let me show this to you. Jyoti, just like Panna Devi, a farmer in Andhra Pradesh, photographed a pest problem, and she asked, the pest problem was in a brinjal crop, and she spoke a question in her own language, Telugu. Within 30 seconds, she got an answer back in her own language. That solution helped her to save her harvest. This happened not because she reached out to an extension office or some agri-expert visited her. This happened because she had an AI agronomist in her pocket. This is farmer chat, and this is what taking it to the farmer looks like in 25 and beyond. Digital Green was born about 17 years ago as a spin-off of Microsoft Research with a simple, powerful belief that what farmers really need is right information and how farmers can teach other farmers through video-based learning. Over these years, we have built on the community, the video-based learning, and we have reached out to 3 million farmers over multiple geographies across the globe. At Digital Green, we learned something profound over the journey. Farmers aren't waiting for solutions. They are creating them every day. Our job isn't to bring technology to farmers. It is to bring wisdom into technology. So we are talking about using farmers' wisdom and using it in technology. With the advent of AI, we saw an opportunity to take the farmer-first approach even further. Farmer Chat embodies this principle. It is an AI-powered agriculture assistant that lives on a basic smartphone, speaks local language and dialects, and works in low connectivity area. And most importantly, it respects farmers' data ownership. I think that's a concern for many, so it really respects that. Think of it as an agronomist in your pocket who speaks your language, understands your local condition, and is available 24/7, as per your need and convenience. Even think about a woman farmer. It's available once you've finished all your household work. It's available 24/7. Farmers can ask questions through voice, text, and taking a photograph of their crop problem. The AI draws from vast repositories of agriculture knowledge, government advisories, research from agriculture universities, local best practices to provide personalized, actionable advice in real time. In just 9 months, we have grown from 15,000 to 250,000 users. 40% are women farmers. In India alone, farmers have generated 2 million queries in just about 6 months. But here's that really defines the success of this app, this AI-based app. 60% of the users act on the advice they receive. So this is the data that we collected from our users. This is just not technology adoption. This is trust at scale. We talk about technology being basically using it for trust to reach out to the farmers. The result speaks for themselves. We reduced the cost of delivering agriculture advice from $35 to $3.5, and in the next 2 years, we are trying to bring it down to 50 cents. I've used dollars as we have people from across the world. And in Kenya, over 80% of users report changing their farming practices. So with this AI app in your pocket, 80% of farmers have said that they've changed their practices. In Ethiopia, our partnership with UC Davis is helping farmers reduce methane emissions by up to 30% while increasing milk production. But what moves me the most is not the scale. It is the stories. Just like Panna Devi's story, the earliest Jyoti story that I gave you, Rani Devi in Bihar now checks the app before sowing her seed, which has helped us to actually avoid losses from unexpected weather. Panna Devi spoke about the losses because of climate change, because of infrequent rainfall. This is an app which is really helping farmers to check their advisory and make sure that they sow at the right time. Women farmers group in Orissa have become so proficient that they are creating local agriculture content themselves, becoming technology leaders in their communities. This is what the next level looks like, technology that amplifies farmers' wisdom rather than replacing it. People say AI will displace human being. We are saying when AI doesn't displace human expertise, but makes trusted knowledge accessible when and where farmers need it the most. Where every farmer, regardless of literacy, location, or language, has access to same quality of agriculture intelligence. The DialogueNEXT theme asks us to take it to the farmer, but perhaps the real innovation happens when we flip the script, when we take the farmer's knowledge, wisdom, and needs and make them the foundation of every technology we build. So we're building the technology on farmers' knowledge and their wisdom. The farmers are ready, the technology exists. The question isn't whether we can take innovations to farmers. It is whether we are ready to let farmers lead the innovation themselves. At Digital Green, we believe the future of agriculture isn't about smart farms. It is about smart farmers. And with a tool like Farmer Chat, that future is already growing in fields across India and beyond. Thank you so much.
Please welcome President of the Iowa Farm Bureau Federation, Brent Johnson.
Very good. Really, what a tremendous honor it is to be asked to speak in front of such a noble group for such a noble cause. As the speaker announced, my name is Brent Johnson. I'm a fifth-generation Iowa farmer, and I just happen to also lead our state's largest farm organization. I am its 14th president in a history that's spans well over 100 years. And if I think back on my family farm, my ancestors started our farm in 1893, and I really take a lot of personal pride in that production, the standards, the innovation, and implementing technology on my farm. And I also find it very surreal that Norman Borlaug's farm was really only a couple hours away from mine. But also in the same light, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of farmers across our entire state who are even today developing, implementing, and driving new technology and increasing production and driving down our efficiencies. There's by no means can I even come close to the standards and accomplishments of Borlaug and Swaminathan. But what I can relate to is that as an Iowa farmer who is here in India, again for the second time, that we all can have the same desire to collaborate in the realms of agriculture and help to share and possibly create new technologies that can better the lives of so many people. And really, my personal story starts about 50 years ago when I was a young child, and the definition of a good farmer back then was very different than it is today. A good farmer back then was confined by the technology of the day, and that technology of the day was really iron and steel and horsepower. And so later on, technology was developed, and most of that was defined around ideas of chemistry and crop protection. And that technology progress allowed all of us as farmers to do a better job, not only in increasing production, but taking care of our environment and taking care of our natural resources. Fast forward a few more years, and GPS, satellites, digital data, they have generationally changed the landscape of agriculture in just a handful of years. And for myself, cutting my teeth with electric over hydraulic technology, it really led quickly into machine automation. And to be honest with you, I didn't really realize the impact of some of that technology that I was helping to implement at the time. Now in today's standards on many Iowa farms, we're talking about digital data coupled up with machine automation, machine learning, advanced diagnostics, sensors, and true data-driven decision-making. Now we use sensors to capture specific reflectance signatures in growing crops that machines can manage that information and modify their task in the field, on the go, in real time. We are producing more than we ever have while simultaneously reducing our inputs. And that all equals environmental and natural resource improvements. Earlier this morning, Iowa Governor Reynolds, Secretary Nag, both talked about the production standards of Iowa and how we lead our nation in so many aspects, and in reality are a world leader in those commodities as well. And I take a lot of pride in the fact that most Iowa farmers are also leading when it comes to conservation and taking care of their natural resources. I think it was said this morning that we lead the country in 7 different conservation practices, and most of that, if not all of that, was by the ability of advancing technology. Most of those technology advancements really were born from Iowa farmers and Iowa innovations right in the heart of our production standards. And so then if you look at that trajectory of what that's allowed our production in agriculture, we have gone from a methodology of managing farms to managing hectares, and now even today we can measure by the centimeter. And I grow corn and soybeans on my family farm back in Iowa, and I'm growing those same crops just like my father did, just like my grandfather did, my great-grandfather, and my great-great-grandfather. I'm growing those same crops, but I'm certainly not growing them the same way, all because of the advancements of technology. So, what's an Iowa farmer doing here in India? I'm simply following the lead of Borlaug and Swaminathan. Now, I fully realize that I can do nothing by myself, but if Iowa and India can communicate, collaborate, and join forces, this Iowa farmer believes that we can all continue to advance technology and walk step in step to new and exciting times that will help people survive better, increase their standards of living, just like Borlaug and Swaminathan did. Thank you.
Please welcome Chief Science Officer at Mahiko, Bharat Char.
Good afternoon, everyone. Namaste. Dr. Veda put the question to the scientists in the group about, doing research in, delivering research versus doing basic research. So actually, I'll start with that point. And having been in industry a long time and having, of course, to focus on market-driven research and deliver things to the breeders, which would ultimately reach the farmer, I still think there's a case for focusing on basic science. And just to give you a number, India's spend on agri R&D is about 0.4% of agri GDP, whereas the world average is around 0.9%. So we're about half of the world average. And I think there's a great scope where we can create an ecosystem where you have enough basic science coming out that can supply or be a source for innovative research for industry. And I think we need to think about that. I think this case has been made in different forums, but I think we need to focus on that. So I'm going to talk about a couple of areas. One is genome editing, which is kind of on everybody's mind these days. And I think, those of us or those in the country, across the world, working on in this area, using it as a tool to deliver traits, I think it's there's a opportunity there to not just use genome editing for single trait delivery, but to use it to create variation in breeding. I think that's where the science should go, because it is a great tool. Once you have the knowledge, you need to understand the genomic information, but once you have it, it's a great tool to build variability in germplasm. And I think that's where the science should go ultimately. Now, related to that, I just wanted to make one point. I work with a lot of startups as advisor, mentor, and many of these startups work in areas in digital agriculture, extremely important. For example, in soil sensors or IoT and so on. And everything is valuable, but I still feel there's a lack of startup activity in wet lab biology and genomics, where you can actually be a source for new innovation and discovering new traits and gene function. I think that's where in India we lack that ecosystem, and there are probably different reasons for that. But one could be regulatory barriers for startups to get into that area. The other area I wanted to talk about is, and other speakers in this forum have spoken about it, and that is artificial intelligence. But I'll talk about one area which I find very exciting, and that is to use artificial intelligence in protein design. And using the ability to predict protein structures and with specific mutations, and marry that with genomic information across genes, across the genome. I think that's an extremely powerful tool. And in human medicine, of course, it is being used. There's been a start, and I was part of a discussion on that, which made me realize that we have a great opportunity in agriculture to look at not only just proteins. For example, you can look at insect resistance or herbicide tolerance or any of these major traits that are important, but also look at other, wide variety of traits that we cannot talk about today because we don't have enough information. And there, AI, I think, will play a really important role. And similarly, it can be applied in biologicals for analyzing microbial exudates, in chemistry to look at new molecules for any of these, disease prevention or fertilizers and so on. So I think great scope there. The last point I'll make is in using this AI ML approach in breeding. Predictive breeding is in use across the globe, but I think we still have to have a really strong case for it, where we can show with data that predictive breeding is actually going to reach the farmer in terms of delivering those products that he or she needs. So I think I'll stop there because there's time for other discussions, but I think these are the areas which I find most exciting, and I find in the next few years, I think agriculture is going to be a really exciting area. Thank you.
Please welcome President of the Iowa Corn Promotion Board, Joe Roberts.
Good afternoon. I'm honored to be sharing the stage with visionaries and leaders in their field, and I've really enjoyed the conversations we've had today and the insights as part of this enhancing day for agriculture. The World Food Prize commemorates the impact of the Green Revolution, heralded by Dr. M.S. Swaminathan and Dr. Norman Borlaug. Their partnership married technological innovation with far-thinking policies, and their promotion of positive agricultural stewardship was greatly beneficial to the world. I speak on behalf of farmers in Iowa when I say that we are proud to continue our partnership with India on these essential initiatives. This partnership carries a deeper lesson that solving global hunger requires not only scientific innovation, but also trust, friendship, and a shared vision and commitment across nations to shape one of the greatest agricultural success stories in human history. It is no wonder that Dr. Swaminathan was the first World Food Prize laureate in 1987. Almost immediately after, in 1989, Dr. Verghese Kiran won the World Food Prize. Father of the White Revolution, Dr. Kiran transformed India's dairy sector and paved the way for the nation to become the largest milk producer in the world. Their legacy continues through the work of organizations such as BISA and CIMIT, which take science from the laboratory into the fields and empower farmers across the globe. Adopting new technologies and practices has allowed us to do more with less, while not sacrificing the profitability and the sustainability on our farms. I look forward to learning more about India's farming systems and the strides you are making to do the same. I believe that two of the world's agricultural powerhouses have a lot on which we'd partner and work to solve the global food puzzle. Iowa farmers take pride in implementing the most current technological innovations mixed with wisdom from those who farmed before us. As a young farmer, I am honored to continue my family's tradition by utilizing their wisdom on the farmland that we have tended for 3 generations. I am also honored to forge my own path in the age of technological innovation. Due to the historic cooperation between India and the U.S. via the World Food Prize, I am offered farming technology that past generations could not imagine. I look forward to combining the wisdom of my forefathers with incredible technology that makes me a better farmer. Perhaps even more important, I look forward to passing down this information to the next generation of young farmers that will come after me. Young farmers lead the charge when it comes to adopting precision technologies, digital tools, and climate-smart practices. It is with our active participation that we can prepare to feed growing populations and respond to warmer temperatures and erratic rains. But how do we inspire future generations to view farming as a noble, multifaceted pursuit? To begin with, agriculture should be framed as the most important sector now and forever. There is no life without food, and there is no food without farming. Farming today is not only a profession of tradition, but also of innovation. By introducing students to drones, satellite mapping, robotics, and precision ag, we can show them that farming is at the cutting edge of science and technology. We also cannot forget what drives the students of today. Conserving nature and preserving our soils for generations of the future are just as important to them as it is to me. We must show them that farming is not only about producing food for billions, but also about using innovation to protect natural resources. I have faith that this generation and the next will feed every single person on Earth while safeguarding our planet. But repositioning farming as a profession needs to start early. We need to provide children with opportunities to connect with the land and learn about where their food comes from. As they grow, we should connect budding farmers across the globe to develop communities and enhance collaboration. The Foundation's mission to improve the quality, quantity, or availability of food throughout the world has become increasingly relevant since it was laid out in 1986. Our two great countries are proud stewards of this mission. Our history of research and development has shaped everything around us, and I am proud of the work that we have done together. I am honored to be in your country this week, and I thank you for your kind welcome. I am excited to witness the implementation of Dr. Swaminathan and Dr. Borlaug's important work as we travel across India. Please think of your friends in Iowa as partners in carrying out this incredible mission. We are here to collaborate with our friends in India for the betterment of the world, and I look forward to learning from you this week. Thank you all for your time here today.
Please welcome Senior Scientist, ICAR Indian Institution of Rice Research, Satyendra Mangrothia.
Thank you, all the delegates here. Let me thank organizers, specifically Dr. Prasanna, my guru. So before I speak, I would also place on record, this is an honor for me to share this stage. And what I am going to talk in next few minutes is about the story of Kamala, India's first genome-edited rice variety. Not only rice, but its first plant variety using genome editing as a tool. So if you see, innovation has been the driver of the development that we see in every field, not only agriculture, but be it medical or be it space science, and so has been the agriculture. And when I am talking about innovation in agriculture, what I am talking about is its use in seed, customizing seeds. We have been looking for new ways for creating the variations, and thank you, Bharatji, for setting the context and putting the primer for my discussion of the topic. So that is how actually humans have been practicing genome engineering. It is not something that we are doing it now new. It started with the selection and also domestication of the right kind of seeds which were given by nature, Mother Earth, and we were relying on much of the variation that was given by Mother Earth. And then we started looking for that how we can create those variations in a faster and better way. And then that is how we went for crossing of those materials and the parents and utilizing recombination as a process to create more of the genetic variations, and then look for the better phenotype. We did not stop there because our needs it has been growing, and then we also looked for much faster tools, and that is where mutation breeding came, and then we went for creating random mutation using physical or chemical mutagens. The whole idea was to create much more variation so that you can select the better and better phenotype. But all that in these technologies that we see is the random variations. As in every field, we have been looking for more precision, so has been the plant breeding. And in this process, we got genome editing, which is much more precise, much more specific. It does not have any kind of footprint leaving behind in the genome, and that is why it is considered as the most safe. So utilizing genome editing, we started working at Indian Institute of Rice Research, Hyderabad during 2018. And the whole idea was to use this technology for the benefit of the farmers. We took a variety, Sama Masuri, which is grown in more than 4 million hectare area, to address its key issues using multiplex genome editing as a tool. And then we could do that, and there was a lot of thought behind, a lot of science behind. I'll not talk much here, but then the tools are there, but for scientists, it becomes important that how to use those tools. For example, genome editing is just a tool, but which nucleotides to edit and where to edit, it makes a lot of difference. And for that reason, we started looking at the protein that we are going to edit, developing its structures more precisely, its structure prediction to understand if we are making those edits in a specific exon or specific nucleotides, what kind of possible changes it can give, and then what would be the anticipated phenotype. We were lucky enough, we created more than 84 mutations in a particular gene, and believe me that this is also a lesson for us that we have not understood the genetic potential just by creating several of the variations in a single gene. We could get the best phenotype, that is Kamla, in the background of Sama Masuri, which not only it gave 25 to 30% increased grain yield, we also noticed very important agronomic traits. For example, it was showing almost 15 to 25 days early maturity. Then it has very strong culm, making the crop lodging resistant. Also, it grows in it can grow well under less nutrition conditions. We have been testing this variety for several seasons under 50% or 50% nitrogen or phosphorus conditions, and we have seen that it is growing very well under even deprived nutrient status. So this makes us a kind of it boosts our confidence that such kind of innovations are going to be the driver of success in future. And once we got all these very important phenotype, we looked for finding or getting the exemption of this particular one from the biosafety regulation. The genome-edited products are regulated by biosafety regulatory bodies. And so we created all the data, necessary data to get the exemption, and we could get, it became first such plant variety along with one more developed at IARI New Delhi. And then we entered this whole, both of those varieties to multi-location field testing in the year 2023. And it was tested for 3 seasons across 24 locations, and in the year 2025, it was identified as India's first plant variety developed through genome editing. Not stopping there, but also we wanted to utilize this new allele or gene form that we have created using genome editing. It's just a gene form. It's a mutated form of a particular gene. And we introgressed into 10 different varieties, understanding that if we want to upscale this innovation in different rice varieties, is it possible? And we could do that in 10 different rice varieties. We have done that. It is showing wonderful phenotype. So this is what exactly in nutshell we have done. We have been able to break yield barrier. We are reducing the crop duration, and at the same time we are increasing its yield by 25 to 30%. By doing so, we are not only saving water, because the original Sama Masuri, which is grown in more than 4 million hectare area, it requires 150 days around for maturity. So saving water, a lot of water from 4 million hectare area, if we are saving 20 days crop maturity, it saves a lot of water, fertilizer, and also, as I said, it can grow under less nutrition. So it is certainly going to help farmers in several ways, not only farmers, but also to the environment by saving water and also reducing methane emission of 20 days. Rice is one of the biggest emitter of methane. So that is how this innovation is going to help. And all this we could do certainly because of right kind of mentorship and also the support that we have been getting from ICAR and the leadership that we have got from the ICAR. So I would like to thank everyone who has been associated with this innovation. And certainly such innovations, we need to join hands together and take these innovations to the farmer at the earliest. They are going to play a wonderful role in their livelihood, not only of their livelihood, but also to the society as a whole. Thank you very much.
Please welcome Executive Director of Iowa Biotechnology Association, Jessica Hyland.
We've reached the end of the line. I'm Jessica Hyland, the Executive Director of the Iowa Biotechnology Association. I'm very thankful to be up here today and to be a part of this distinguished group. I wanted to start my time with a little bit about our association, the makeup of which highlights the diversity of Iowa's biotech economy. By design, our association represents food and ag companies, animal and human health, as well as bioindustrial and environmental companies. Our board is made up of representatives of not only those types of industries, but also all three Regents institutions in the state. And we also have IEDA, which is the Economic Development Authority of the state, on our board as well. That makes us a unique association that serves a unique purpose for uniting the biotech ecosystem in the state of Iowa. A large part of our association's mission is supporting the development and implementation of cutting-edge biotechnology. Though Iowa boasts a diverse biotech landscape, it's not surprising that we're strong in agriculture. For example, we're the #1 producer of corn and ethanol in the country. It makes sense then that statistically the makeup of Iowa Bio would also be over half ag-related, whether those companies are large multinational corporations or small startups. With our theme of today's talks focused on breakthrough innovations reaching farmers, and with our short time frame, I wanted to highlight one example of an Iowa Bio member company bringing their cutting-edge technology to India's farmers. Core to Iowa as a state is a mission to feed and fuel the world. As India looks to similar goals, feeding its population while increasing biofuels production and usage, it's clear that biotech and ag-tech solutions to increase yields can benefit both Iowa and India. Power Pollen is a startup company looking to bring its unique pollen preservation and application technologies to the Indian agricultural sector. Their technology has significant impacts on yields in staple crops like corn, rice, and wheat. For example, for corn seed producers, Power Pollen's technology can increase yield by more than 20%. Last year, Power Pollen licensed its technology to an Indian seed company for use in a limited-scale pilot project on corn during the September 2024 to March 2025 planting season. The delivery of the pollen technology was semi-mechanized for this pilot. Scientific results from this are very positive. The next step would be scaling the technology for use in a mechanized pilot and then increased use on additional acres. And herein lies some of the challenges faced by a smaller or mid-sized startup company based in Iowa. Barriers to implementing their technology in India on a broader scale include some practical problems. The ability to scale is difficult because the ag tech innovations that they developed in Iowa aren't exactly translatable directly to India. The massive difference in field size has created a practical mechanical barrier for Power Pollen, which developed its technology in Iowa, a state where the average farm size is much, much larger. There are no locally available vehicles in India suitable to use with their pollen application technology. So the company is looking for other solutions, including in-field drone technology, which would be able to be shipped and deployed here. However, that's a few years into the future. In addition, Power Pollen wants a local partner invested in their parent company, also helping to distribute their technology in India. When an aligned investor becomes part of the parent company, it creates a joint venture to align commercial incentives, protect intellectual property, and strengthen local partnerships. To better support companies like Power Pollen, Iowa Bio, with the support of Governor Reynolds, will be signing an MOU with the Association of Biotechnology-Led Enterprises this Thursday in Mumbai. We are looking forward to building even stronger connections and dialogue between India and Iowa biotech companies. Collaboration, as we have heard over and over today, will surely be the foundation of success for Iowa and India agricultural biotechnology companies and ultimately farmers. Thank you.
Please welcome back Vida Kirshner.
Thank you. It was a great sharing of knowledge, wisdom, and ideas. To sum up with, I can just say, take to the farmers, take from farmers, and take with farmers. Because we have witnessed there is different level of knowledge and vision, and they are the real problem solvers. We have seen the practical knowledge-based vision from Madam Panna Devi ji, and along with that, the legacy of solutions from gentlemen from Iowa, and how a good research ecosystem can give us technology like Kamala and so on. I think that is the real key. And with this, when we leave today's session, the next step is to build a more strong basic research, as Bharat mentioned. Along with that, let's also strengthen the knowledge between trust and vision towards the ultimate goal. So if we continue to collaborate with the same spirit that we saw today, we can ensure that these innovations are not going to just stay in the lab or within the four walls, but truly it is going live on the ground. Thank you once again for being a wonderful panelist and audience for your time and engagement. Let's carry forward this momentum to the next session. Thank you once again.